Welcome to the Monday Night Men's Forum. I am Matt from Hop Life, and tonight we have Grant, Homestead of Pain. How's it going, man?
Honestly, it's going wonderful. I
Good.
mean, it is. It's like going on the second year in a row. Everything is just sunshine and rainbows.
Sunshine and rainbows. You guys get married at the courthouse yet?
No,
Just
no.
asking. I'm going to ask
I mean,
every week.
yeah, that's a very that's a very good question to ask, but no, um, no, we haven't done that
All
yet.
right. All right.
Um,
Tonight we're talking. Well, the title is Knowledge of Power. I hate it. It's a stupid title, but it's like what we're gonna ask. What we're gonna talk about is what do you want to learn? Like, what do you want to learn this year? What do you want to learn next year? What do you want to learn like before you die? Before we get there, give us a personal event.
I guess I'll go first. My personal event is more of things falling into place. My grandmother's house, my nana's house, is looking to be sold. As is, it's been like a 4-year remodel. That was finally coming up to a wraps, and then when that sells, they'll get quite a bit off that. It's my mom and my sister, well, her sister, and then the property we're looking to get from my aunt on the other side of the family is wanting to sell it by June or July. So that's also coming into really nice. And so things are really starting to shape up.
Nice. So you're selling your grandma's house. Your mom and her sister are gonna get the money, and then your aunt on your other side is going to give you some land to right.
Mom and dad are looking to buy like 17 acres from her that has my great grandmother's like 175-year-old house on it.
Is it still like in good shape?
It has a good foundation and it has good bones. It would need new plumbing and new electrical.
All cheap stuff.
And
Good.
then I mean, not cheap, but
I'm
better
kidding.
than nothing.
That stuff is never cheap.
No, it's not.
Seen the price of copper lately?
No.
So then what happens to the where you're living now, like with your parents? Like, are your
It
parents
would.
moving into that house, or
Yeah, they'd be moving into that house. I would
who
probably
owns the house now? Nobody? Vacant?
my aunt. It's vacant, but my aunt owns the property. The house is technically not livable.
Hmm.
Nobody lives in it. It's not really worth any. It's not valued as a house as it sits, but the roof is fine. The walls are fine. It really just needs some 10 to 11 care, and it'll be good
Sure.
to do.
Good as new. Nice. Welcome, Jeremy.
It'll be
Hello.
better than new. The house. He can't hear us. Anything. He can't hear us. He's having audio problems.
I guess so. Jeremy, let me know when you. Oh wait, there I got a private chat. What is this? I can't hear anything. Trying to fix my audio. Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. Gotcha. Okay. So personal event this weekend. Oh man, I forgot my personal event. I don't know. I just had a good weekend. The end. Man, I can't remember what I did, but it was enjoyable. So, we'll figure it out. We'll just skip over Jeremy. I'll just kick him out. So Grant, this
Yes.
year, what do you want to learn?
Oh, what do I want to learn?
I mean, you're in school, so you're already learning.
Yeah. Am I though? No. I don't know what I want to learn, to be honest. There's too many things. There's so many things I want to learn.
Are you a car guy? Are you into cars?
No, not one bit.
Is that something you would want to learn?
Not one bit.
Hmm.
It's something I should learn. It's something that I need to learn. I can change. I can change the tire. I can change the brakes. Everything on that. I don't have any interest in an engine or a motor. It's a skill that I need to know
Right. Same.
because you have to know that to fix your own vehicles. Um, that small engine repair, because you have engines in everything you pretty much use, from a
Yeah.
lawnmower to maybe a log splitter to a generator.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I've never been that big into cars, or like I struggled just to want to even like change the oil. Like I'd rather just pay someone else to do it because it's not worth my time, not enjoyable to me.
Well,
Um,
see, if you know how to do it, that's one thing. If you
I know
outsource it,
how.
that's
I'm just
another.
not
That's
that
another
good at
thing.
it.
It's
I know to put the oil in the clear reservoir towards the front of the engine with the little blue cap on it with the little that's it.
yeah.
I
I
can
would.
fix the tire like I used to work at a tire shop that so I'd have to patch holes. You know, people running over like nails and stuff and have to patch tires. So I've never had to do it
See,
on the side of the road, thankfully, but
we don't
so it's a
patch
lot different.
tires. We just put a plug in them and then we just keep driving.
Well, that's what a patch. Well, I guess it's a patch and or plug, right? It's a patch
Yeah,
or a
because
plug
because
kit.
we'll do the plugs at home by ourselves. Because the patches, if you would like patch a tire, that's like a complete breakdown and fixture of a tire. I didn't realize how intense that process was.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, you could even like rebelt a tire. That'd be wild.
Yeah, I don't ever care to do that. I'll just go buy a
No,
new
that sounds
tire,
terrible.
or I'll
Yeah,
go steal the tire off somebody else's car. You know, it depends on what situation we're in.
our collapse series is over. We don't need to worry about stealing tires right now.
Well, hey, it's always collapse series with me.
It's like wedding season. Like it's collapse season.
Yes, for
All
me,
right.
I'm in a perpetual state of collapse because it's like I do something that I'm like, what happens if I can't go to the if I need vinegar? Okay, if I want pickles, okay, we've got to have I've got to grow the cucumbers, then I've got to have the vinegar. How do I make vinegar? So that's one thing I would like to actually do this year and actually start to learn is how to distill. To
Hmm.
distill things. I've outsourced my distilling products that I use um, to a family member, but other than that, I like to make it myself in house, so I don't have overhead.
Right. Because one of the things I was thinking about, we did last last episode of the collapse series was energy, and with that, subset is like fuel, right? Fuel produces energy. So one of the things is like, so how much like fuel are you going to store?
Yeah,
There's like,
not
12,
enough.
yeah, it's never enough, right?
It's never gonna. It will never be enough
Like 12
because and then
5-gallon gas cans can only get you so far.
it
So like, do you
and say
make your
you
own
store.
alcohol?
I outsource my own alcohol. Was that a question or was that
It
a
was
statement?
rhetorical. It's both.
Okay, okay. Um,
Did
so
I say alcohol? I meant fuel. I mean, it's
same thing. Close enough.
I
Close enough.
mean, can't you,
Uh,
right?
no, it's illegal to do both without a permit.
Well, that I don't care about that part. That's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
interesting to me.
Um, so really, gas expires. So even if you have
Yeah,
enough gas for 5 years, well, after 5 years, what? What now? What then? You know,
right.
you'll always have to have, by that time you need to have, just get ready to just walk everywhere and have horses. But I want to take a pause and go back to the personal event. Have you been
Yeah,
having any more problems with rats?
me. I never had
Yes.
rats, just mice. But
Mice?
uh,
Okay.
for the most part, they're gone.
Well, my rats are now the size of mice because I keep killing them before they get big. But I had six that I had shot in the barrel like earlier last week. And Destiny was down like one day this past week. And I asked her if she wanted to shoot one. And she's like, yeah, sure. She ends up just blowing its foot off. and it's just like, ee, 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 ee. And then
Oh
she
my
starts to
gosh.
feel bad. I'm like, don't, it's eating my corn. And then
Haha,
so,
she has empathy.
yeah, she does. I don't. Not for animals like that,
Not for rats,
but
no.
not for rats. And then she just felt bad. And then I ended up just shooting it. I thought it was funny.
That's a
And
good personal event.
she's watching, so she's listening to this. So I figured out how to tell the story.
Is that what the one? So I got a little indicator up in my screen. Is that the one person that's watching? Is your
Yeah,
girlfriend?
it's it's her.
All
She's
right.
not here. She's not working at the gas station anymore. So she's working at a Pike's distribution center.
Talk
so
about a
she's
tough
off.
job working at a gas station.
I know
Feel
it's
bad.
awful. I'm so glad she's not there anymore. So yeah, now she actually has weekends off.
Does she even
Which
know
is
what to
fun.
do with them?
She just comes here
No, it's for all her learning.
learning.
That's like a topic thing.
Oh, yeah, back on
Like what?
topic.
Yeah, back on topic. What is she using her weekends to learn?
She probably should. She probably should. I guess I'm a distraction on that. She likes
you
to
probably
sew
are.
and crochet. She's good at it. She's very new at it, but she's very good at it. So she needs to do it more. So that's what she, I guess, could learn.
I want to learn. I'm kind of sad that Scott's not here because I was going to talk podcasting. Like I want to learn how to do podcasting better.
You need that one.
I can't talk right. I ain't so good at talking.
He is very good at it.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He blows up my Telegram a lot. A lot.
Just sending you private messages?
No, just like in his he advertises for his podcast in his podcast chat group.
Yeah, I got you.
And then now he's good. He actually gave me $25 Amazon gift card because he used one of my pictures from my garden.
Oh, nice.
You know, the one he uses it constantly. I'm like, did you want to buy the picture from me? But I mean, the $25 Amazon gift card is fine. I still own the picture. But yeah, he's cool.
Sorry, I'm going through some pictures because I was going to show
what
my kid learned this weekend.
One thing I would like to learn from him is how to build websites. You know, he has his WordPress website when he sold his chestnut trees and his, that's one thing I would like to know and understand how to do.
WordPress is fine if you really care to know like the back end, like how websites work. But for most people, it's just like, I just want it to work. And that's fine too. Like if you're someone reached out to me, Little Pine, Colorado guy, Scott his name is also Scott. He reached out to me. He's like, dude, I like your website. How'd you make it? Like, and I told him, I'm using WordPress. And I said, but it took a long time because it's just not something I'm proficient in. Honestly, I would just use Shopify. Like, and I might switch to using Shopify going forward, but that's just not something I'm doing right now.
That's the one thing about WordPress, though, is if you go look at his website, it's very simple and clean.
Yeah.
And you can't, like, I've set up like GoDaddies and stuff like that before. They just don't look simple and clean like that. They try to overcomplicate it and make it look all fancy.
Right. Yeah. Man, it's just it just takes too much time. That's just really just it. This just takes too much time for me that I'm not terribly interested in. I'm gonna share some pictures here. Stuff that my kid learned how to do this weekend. How do I do this? Go back. Present, share screen. Okay, this is a little show and tell right here. Share. All right, so we were just walking around the property. How do I make this full screen? I don't know. We were just walking around the property, and I was like, "Oh man, look, Milo, like there's like these little bones." And so he came over, and we were looking at these little bones right here. You can't zoom in that well. But I was like, told him, he's like, this is from a deer. I'm like, no, it's not from a deer. I mean, he's only 2, so I'm like, it's probably from like, oh my gosh, shut up. I bet you're the whole time. So I'm like, it's probably, some rodent thing or whatever that an owl ate and I'm like pooped it out. And, I was like explaining all that to him. So he thought that was cool. Then he wanted to just keep looking for bones. And then later, let's see what's next. Oh, we found a caterpillar in the backyard. So that was cool. I thought it was dead, but we brought it inside and it is definitely learning about that.
Did you explain that owls don't actually poop? They just hawk it back up?
I guess I kind of forgot that part in science class.
Uh,
But yeah, that's
unless I'm wrong.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It comes out one end or the other, and that's how they got there. I bought this little kit for him. It's like a little, it's like a coin change thingy or whatever. And so we built that, and he was hammering all his nails and stuff. So he had a very busy learning weekend.
Speaking of, if there's something you want to get him, it's like a wooden pocket knife. It comes in pieces. I think it's made by CRKT. I'll find it and send it to you. I got that.
Mic check, Jeremy.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh gosh, that's loud.
It worked.
Jeez, man, I'm so sorry. I have no idea. Like I've connected every device. I haven't changed anything since last week. Why in the world it wouldn't work? I can't figure it out. So, but here I am.
Just ghosts in the electrical.
Yeah, something
Jeremy,
like that.
we're gonna.
I'm gonna send you something.
I'm gonna share a couple comments real quick. Think about a personal event, real for a second. Christopher says, "Sorry, I couldn't join. Just felt blah tonight," which makes sense coming from the fatigue guy. Some days you're just not going to feel it. And then, what I'd like to learn this year would be better programming. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Christopher. But that's programming's hard. I've had to learn a couple of languages in school, and that it's not for me. You got to have a special brain for that. I was just telling Grant, I can't even talk English that well. So
I can't talk English that well.
I don't do good with English.
So all right, but so I've done programming. Okay, so I used to
what language?
Web development. So PHP, HTML,
CSS,
JavaScript. Never learned that. CSS, yes.
Python.
No, I never dove on that. Like I can look at it and I can figure out what it's doing, but I couldn't write it. I couldn't make a program work. In fact, at my company right now, we have we've hired we've outsourced to a programmer that's developing in Python, and he's done Teams shares with me, and I've looked at it. Yeah, okay, that's what that's doing. I get that. I understand. I couldn't replicate that, but I understand
from scratch.
Correct. Yeah.
I've got this book. It's called "Learn Python the Hard Way." Blah, blah. So all you do, so it's just like a ebook or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's got the script on one side, and you're supposed to have a window open next to it on your computer and just type it out character for character. And eventually you'll just start, if you want to, you can modify the code to just kind of see what happens when you modify it, but you're literally just writing it from scratch, copying it side by side. Like it goes through 50 different examples.
So that reminds me of W3 Schools. It's a website.
Yes.
It's kind of the same thing. Like here's this, but you can type it over here or modify it over here and see
it's like a sandbox.
Is. Yeah, exactly. Programming's hard. It really is, but it's fun if you've got the time to devote to it.
Right.
It definitely is. That's a good goal though, to try to learn a new language, because that's a lofty goal.
Like
it's
a new language, as in speaking?
Is a programming language. So Python is a programming language. Then you've got C#, C whatever. You've got all these different computer programming. Yeah, right. You've got the most predominant. But it's essentially like learning a new speaking language. It's
when you learn how to
challenging.
program something, you basically build it once and then can do it infinite times. So that's there's a model, I forget exactly what it's called. It's something like build once, sell twice, or something like that, where if you build a tool to do something online and it just works, you can sell it over and over and over and over
Mhm.
again, and you only had to do the work with one time.
Right. Well, and like there's something called object oriented programming, which is like you can build this module of sorts, and then you can call this module from 1,000 different places, 1,000 different times. It's you've built it and you can reuse it over and over, and you can call it into whatever program that you've got. So yeah, I mean, it's once you've built something and made it work, then you can reuse it over and over and over again.
Speaking
But
of languages, do either of you speak a language, another language?
Banyo.
See, I would like to learn how to speak Spanish so I can talk to my future employees and know what they say behind my back.
Future employees. What are you saying,
Yeah.
Grant?
I'm gonna hire illegal immigrants.
Okay, that's what I was.
Just
Let me throw that out
when
there.
are you doing this? And how much money will you be hiding from the IRS?
Give it 5 to 10 years, and they don't need to know that.
They're going to send all 87,000 agents after you.
Oh gosh.
That's why I pay my
swarming the IBC totes, hiding behind the IBC totes. Oh god!
Surprise! It's all full of thermite.
Oh no! Just like level the county.
Personal event. I borrowed. This is so I'm off this week. I've taken a week off work
because of COVID.
No, I've taken a week off work. We're out of busy season.
COVID,
and,
yes.
COVID.
COVID.
The Rona.
I had COVID wink last week.
I had it a couple weeks ago. But I took this week off and borrowed a tractor. So I'm playing in the dirt in the backyard.
Nice. How is it? Are you even gonna give it back?
So it's my mom. All right, so it's my mom's husband, my stepdad.
Yes, bro.
I mean, if you want to give him that title, has he earned it?
They got married. I like the guy a lot. Like I really like the guy. They
yeah,
got married
he's your
last year.
stepdad.
So like it's he's just Jerry. Like it's just Jerry.
This is Jerry.
But he's a good guy. Like if I could have picked anybody from mom, like that would have been the guy. Like he's a really good guy.
Good.
But he's got 25 acres. And so I spent Saturday. What's up, Christopher?
Hey, Mr. Fatigue.
So
yeah, I got to watch it and I was like, the heck with this. I'm gonna just join in. Even if I don't have
I honestly didn't want to be here either, but then I was told you have to do it, blah blah blah.
So I spent Saturday cutting down 30 trees.
Oh, that's fun. That sounds
no,
amazing.
it was not. It was not.
I love cutting trees down.
I love cutting a couple of trees down, not 30.
That's a lot of trees.
What are you doing with 30 trees?
Especially the ones that like you know the ones that have like the 3 to 4 inch spikes on them. Thorns.
Are they okay? Are they locust or Bradford pears?
I don't.
Because if it's a locust tree, you can use that as a fence post, and it'll never rot.
Yeah, well, they all came down, but like I got, yeah.
I feel like you're wasting wood. I mean, if you had cut down
trees, Grant, come to Clanton, Alabama, and you can have all you want.
You're gonna give me all the wood I want. I'll take you on that.
You too. Not
okay.
So I spent Saturday cutting down all those trees with my mom, Jerry, and a couple of my brothers, and then borrowed the tractor, brought it back home, and I spent the day out on the tractor today, which was fun. Like it was almost toppled it a couple times, you know, because it's on a hill, and I'm like, whoop, drop that bucket.
Oh.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I've almost done that in an excavator, not an excavator. a mini X and a skid steer. I've almost done that here.
Nice.
So yeah,
It's
not
it's
great.
not fun. So I think a skid steer would be better. So all right, so I paid a guy to come out a few days ago, Thursday maybe, and cut down 5 trees in my yard. And so I had 2 trees inside the chicken run, and which prevented me from putting up like a hawk net. Which I mean, I guess I technically could have put up a hawk net, but it was just a pain.
Yep.
That I had to like go around the trees and all that. So he cut down the 2 trees in the chicken run, and then there were 3 trees outside the chicken run that were giving my backyard too much shade, so that I couldn't grow a garden that's big enough. It prevented me from growing as much food as I wanted to. So I paid them to come out and cut down all those trees, 5 trees, and then I was like, well, what if, like, okay, so he brought a skid steer out and he just pushed over 2 of those 3 trees. Like one was like a cherry tree, no joke, like 8 to 10 inches in diameter. He just drove up to it, just pushed it over, and I'm like, son of a gun. There's like 10 other trees out there that are 3 to 6 inches. What how much to push the rest of those over? And so $200 later, no, skid steer. He just pushed them all over, cleared all the land. And I'm like, well, dang, I can
do that.
You did, but he did in a half a day what would have taken me, a week to do with either my hands or a tractor. The skid steer works phenomenal at that.
Skid steers are better because they have a lower center of gravity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
speaking of hawks,
but the tractor I didn't have to pay for. I mean, I paid for it in by means of
sweat equity.
An entire sweat equity on Saturday. So that's kind of personal event. So we'll see if by next Monday if I finished my projects out in the backyard.
Yeah, I lost a baby goat.
I want to grow a lot more gardening this year. What, Grant?
Nice.
I lost one of my baby goats this past week because a hawk ate it.
What?
Oh man.
A hawk?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, a hawk ate a goat?
Yeah, yeah. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and it just ripped it. It just ripped it in half. It like all turned inside out and everything.
Dang,
I was kind of sad.
Sorry. Yeah, you should be.
I'm gonna kill him.
Just don't broadcast that out here. That's a felony.
It's getting revenge.
No, I'm just voicing my anger. Wink, wink.
You're voicing your anger. Wink, wink. Yeah.
Good. Well, so back to the language thing. My wife can speak German, and we're trying to like teach the kids like Spanish and German because.
Do you speak Spanish?
All right.
I speak nothing.
Can we? Yeah, not even English. Can we back up a little bit? Why does she speak German?
She's
it's very specific.
She's majored in German and then studied abroad in Germany for a year. So that's why she speaks German.
Nice. Okay. That's just it's not like I would expect Spanish or French or something like that, but German's.
Yeah, she also has like German heritage and stuff. So that,
that makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so,
that's very cool.
I've tried to learn a couple times and just not good at it. Not my forte, but we try to teach the kids. And so it's tough when like she can have like a whole conversation in German. And I'm like, du hast like
sauerkraut.
I don't even know what that means.
Du hast mich. I don't know, whatever. Like,
yeah, it's sauerkraut.
I know what kind of music you listen to.
Yeah. And so, but like, I don't want the kids, like they say, if you got to be exposing them to those sounds that aren't their native language early on, because that part of their brain can be fossilized, which makes it harder to learn another language later in life. Because like there's certain noises basically in other languages that you just don't get in English. Like we have no reason to roll our R's in English, but they do in Spanish. Yeah, think this. Someone can't roll their R's. So I'll listen to that all day. But yeah, learn a language. Rolling your R's terribly. That's funny.
Yeah,
So,
I
so
used
my
to not pronounce R's. Then I was
my-
put in the special kid class.
Were they with a capital R, right?
No, like I
Uh,
couldn't say world. I was like world.
Wold,
I couldn't pronounce the R.
my
And then I got
brother couldn't pronounce ours, and he went to a speech therapist a couple times, and they said just roll your R's, and like so that was like around the house as a kid. Like my brother would roll his R's.
Everything was.
It was. Guess what? No speech impediment anymore. That fixed it. Rolling the R's fixed it.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
teach my kid how to do like what came up is that we had some quiche, but he says Keith like TH. And so
We ate
So I'm
Keith.
like-
we ate Keith. We're cannibals now.
so I'm like
The end-
quiche. And he goes, Keith. And so
Hey man, what happened to your
we're
neighbor?
working on
we
it.
ate Keith.
We're working on it. It's a work in progress.
Uh,
But it's pretty funny.
Well, I'm always trying to learn something, but I don't always act on it. But I'm always trying to learn something anyway. Like, this last week, I was like, well, thinking to myself, okay, what if there was like an EMP and we had to bug out? How would we get where it's safe, like really safer or a lot safer? And I was looking up, what if I could learn how to sail a boat? So I could, sail a boat. Let's go down to, well,
That
it's
is a
probably
very
die
intense
on the way down, but that is intense. But I thought to myself, that would probably be better than trying to stick it out here. Just the kind of mental. So I'm always like, okay, if I wanted to do that, how would I learn? What would I do? What would I start with? What's the most
Is that
popular?
what prompted that message the other day?
Yeah, that's what prompted that message. No, I just always thinking about different situations and like what would I do, and then I have to learn, the kinds of things that would get out of that situation and just sort of MacGyver life. but I'm not always acting on it. It's just thinking about it.
Sure.
So like those scenarios. So all right. So Christopher sent me a message the other day that was talking about like, hey, this might be a scenario that we do, but like I think to leave what you know and you're familiar with, are you jumping out of the kettle into the fire?
Yeah.
Or out of the frying pan into the fire? Like who
You're
knows
jumping out of the frying pan into the
worse.
death.
Yeah,
You know what-
it's a good chance you'd die either way. It's one of those situations where
you take your
kinda like
chances.
you're darned
yeah.
if you do and you're darned if you don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's the
true.
better scenario?
Yeah.
I would rather die on my front porch.
I watched some videos about an expert who dealt with hunger and did a lot of research in hunger, and people just get incredibly irrational. Like your neighbor that you think you can really trust, he sees his child
Wow.
starving,
They become
they can
irrational.
turn on you. Yeah, they just
Sure.
and there's no rational talking about it, and it just made me think, well, maybe I don't want to be hanging out here if it gets that bad.
That's why you have a safe full of
Yeah.
pew pew pew.
Well, he brought that up. He said, let's suppose you're John Rambo and you fight off everybody successfully, and you don't manage to miraculously not get hit in the process. Well, all that fire has rung out for a good mile around, and then everybody around
attention.
who's hungry is all of a sudden might be interested in what you're, So
Well, there's a bunch of dead bodies at the street they can eat.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Nothing about that situation
No, not
is
at all.
easy at all. And I
Mm-mm.
just thought, well, if there's a possibility that life is a little better south of the border. My family, I came from a family who had to flee more than once. And so it's in my blood. They had to
Are you
go.
Polish?
No, my
There's lots of demographics, Grant, throughout recent history that have had
I
to
was just
flee for one reason or another.
checking one of them off.
No,
and
no,
see
no.
if he's Polish.
no.
Just let's go through all the countries one by one.
No, it's kind of interesting. The Vidals, if you've ever heard of the Huguenots, they had to flee France from the Catholics, and so some of the Huguenots, if you're born and raised in Florida, you know about the Huguenots because it's a big deal around here. And so, but our family went to Holland until World War II, and the Nazis came into Holland, and they occupied our family's China shop. We had a shop where they sold China and various things like that. So that family then, they occupied the shop, told them, you can live in a corner of your own shop. It was just, they said, the heck with this, we're going to the United States. So in my family, I have this history of getting out of Dodge and going and just making do. And I feel it in my blood. Like if I had to, that's what I would do. Definitely not my first option. It's not on my bucket list to become a refugee, but I do speak some Spanish and I could learn it again. And I got a $5 phrase book. Just when I think about these kind of weird, strange, exotic, far out, unlikely
Scenarios.
situations. Yeah, I don't put a lot of money into it. I might put a little bit of money, like a $5 phrase book.
They're interesting to think about.
Yeah, they're interesting to think
Have you
about.
ever? Something you said reminded me of that movie Defiance. Have you ever seen that? Daniel Craig.
No, hang on. Let me see if
2008 American war film, Nazi Germany. So all these Jewish refugees fled to the woods.
Okay.
And created their own civilization in
colony.
the woods. Yeah, they did. It's a very interesting. It's a very good movie.
It
Very
sounds
good.
familiar.
I would recommend watching it. It's very much we are under attack. We're fleeing, but we're trying to keep together some form of civilization within our community.
They just had a bunch of banks.
Okay. 2008 Defiance.
Yeah. Watch it. It's a good movie. It's really good. In fact, I kind of want to go watch it again. I'm off this week. I may sit down and watch it. Or I may just prop it up while I'm driving the tractor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
Have you been watching
no
Last
joke.
of Us?
I've heard of it.
You'd like it.
So there was a TikTok I put out about that White Noise movie. Just kind of Did you? Did you?
I think I saw that. I saw that video. I didn't see.
I've never watched the movie. I've heard it's an awful movie, but it was
because
more
you're like,
a-
how about that?
yeah. Like, did y'all know that that Netflix released a movie last year about? It's called White Noise, about a train derailing in Ohio that released a chemical, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like I wasn't saying go watch it. I was just like, it's a
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Interesting coincidence. Take from it what you will. I don't care. It's just, did you know? But somebody commented on that post, either on TikTok or on Instagram, about what was that show again? The Last of Us.
Yeah.
All right, I don't. The Last of Us. All right, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, it's in HBO. I think they just came out with episode 6 or 7.
Oh, so I gotta pay for it. Dang it! All right, I'll pay.
I'll send you a link. I got you.
I'll send you a link.
Like I don't pay for it either, so I don't care. I watched it the next day.
I didn't watch it, but one of the clips that made its way around is I called it 4 minutes of prepper porn. This guy comes out of his basement bunker with the mask on and the gun. He's looking all around. There's nobody, and he's like this big smile on his face, and he just starts raiding the Home Depot and turns on the natural gas.
Yes.
It's hilarious. It's so
Yeah.
funny. I won't spoil the ending for you. I'll have to.
Is it part of this TV show?
Yeah, it was 4 minutes
Okay.
of a clip in the middle of one of these episodes. I'll send it to you. It's so funny.
Yeah. That's good. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's
I think those shows are fun. They show a different, an interesting perspective on like a what if. It's all Hollywood. It's all dramatized, but
The
it's
game-
still.
I would actually like to play the game it's based off of,
same.
and then
Wait,
stop
what?
it too.
It's based
before
off
they
a
ruined
game?
it.
It's
Yeah, it's
from a
based on a video
PlayStation game.
But stop it too. Just stop it too.
Stop it. What?
Stop it. If you play it, stop at the second game.
Oh, okay. Wait, I thought you said you haven't played it. Have you played it?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I want to,
Oh.
but just stop at the second game.
Because
It may go so woke.
It-
Like,
It
ma-
may go, it may go so well.
no, it goes so well.
It
They
may.
they make one of the. I think they make Abby gay, and then there's just a trans sex scene in the game. Like, I
What do
don't
you
want
what do you
that.
have against gay and trans?
I don't want to see them having sex in my video game. That's just pretty much it.
Fair enough, Grant. So the last thing I've been on this hook lately is wanting to learn how to build a root cellar. Like,
Yes,
I've got a spot like that's kind of under my deck because I asked my wife, I'm like, can we just like so we have insulated concrete forms on 3 sides of the garage and the basement. And I'm like, can I just like take a concrete saw and like cut into this and like go into the ground like through the house? And she's like, no, it's gonna like compromise the house. I'm like, it's fine.
I'd be
No.
all right. Just trust me.
get in the tailgate and say, "Hey, can I get a hole in my foundation?"
And so
We have insurance; it'll cover it.
it'd be fine. It would be fine. But I got told no. So now we have to go with the less fun plan and get like I don't know, figure out. A lot of people use like septic tanks that are like imperfect, like they can't be sold because there's like imperfections or something like that. You get them for like half price. I mean, it's a big concrete box that you'd still need to like cut a door into, and then there's like have like a little vent pipe and stuff. But that's been my latest kick on things to learn.
I didn't
Because
know you could buy damaged septic tanks, so I'll keep that in mind.
it's something about the casting process because they're
Yeah.
all prefab, obviously.
You're like
Yeah.
blemished.
Yeah, so like you know, if it has you probably still wouldn't want one that has a crack in it because then it would get wet.
Well, you can
um,
always seal the crack off.
You could patch it, yeah. That is
Yeah, you
true.
just patch
So
just throw a pair of jeans
it
on
depends.
It, and you
I got one in my backyard you can use. It's about 6 feet under, but
go. Is it
It's a field.
currently full?
it might be.
It's got fertilizer.
I already
right.
have one of those. Thanks.
Yeah.
Um,
Shoot, man.
yeah,
So
that's been my
our
latest
house
kick.
was built in '89, and it's just been an ongoing project list of things. And like the septic was one of those we had to fix a couple years ago. And I'm like, part of me wanted to rip the entire thing out and just put a new one in. Because it was like how in the world did this pass inspection?
That sounds expensive, like $30,000 expensive.
It sounds like
I know.
a lot.
I know, but there comes a point where I go, just do it. Like I don't care anymore. Like it's if I have to
Say F the
refinance the
money.
house, and just refinance the house. I don't know. Like it's there comes a point where I'm like I'm tired of putting band-aids on something. I just want it to be done right.
So, did you completely redo the septic?
Nope.
You just band-aided it. Or did you fix it?
So like, all right, so there.
Did you
should be,
flush a
like-
bunch of band-aids? Is that how that got a problem?
Yeah, that'll fix it. That'll fix it.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. So they put 3-inch coming out of our house. They put 3-inch PVC going into the septic, and it was like a roller coaster coming out of the house into the septic. And so this was like 3 years ago. I'm out working in the yard, and we're running the washer and dryer, and our washing machine, the washing machine's in our garage. And I come walking back into the garage, and like the garage floor is just filled with soapy water.
Oh, gross.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm like, that's
Is
no
it
bueno.
poopy soapy water?
I mean, at least it was cleaned. It was soapy water.
Yeah,
Even though it might have,
Was
yeah,
there some
it
talk
could have
that's
been
one-
worse.
it's one step away from not being
Right.
clean
It
water.
could have been worse. It could have been better. This was like Labor Day, like 3 years ago, and called on Labor Day, got to come out. He scoped everything, cleaned it all out, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like there's standing water here," and like, so we dug it all up and found out like it was literally like the line was like it was like a hump in the line going. I'm like, yeah, that's never gonna drain to the septic tank. So he was like, yeah, it'll be like $2,000. I have a shovel.
Yeah.
Like, I fixed it. Yeah, I replaced the line from the house to the septic tank, but like it's still like we looked at the tank and I'm like, there's no way this passed inspection. Like this is like somebody's brother approved the contractor's work. Like it's so
That's frustrating.
it's just so Alabama. That's what it is.
So Alabama.
Yeah, that
Backwoods
explains
Alabama.
it.
I keep
Anyway.
forgetting what I was gonna. I should do a video of
root cellar in a septic tank.
root cellar. Yep, from
Yeah.
a septic tank. I should do a video of the in-floor heating system that I built. I did all that myself
In your
That's
house?
pretty
in
impressive.
my house. So
Dude,
like
yeah, could you do that?
Very
So when I
nice.
put mine, I can copy it.
I mean, yeah, I got a used electric water heater from Craigslist for $40, and it worked for about half a day. And then
What?
and then I'm like, the water, like, because I put in some thermometers in line with the PEX plumbing, and so I was like, what the heck? The water coming out of here is only like the same temperature that's going in. This is not working. So I drained the water heater and I looked at the heating controller thingy and I'm like, oh, everything looks like it's hooked up all right, whatever. So then I took out the heating elements and like those rods were corroded so bad. like the fact that it even worked at all was amazing. And like one of them was even like split wide open. Now, thankfully, you can just go
Replace
to the
those
hardware
rods.
store and
Yeah.
just go get new ones. So I got the ones that were like, it was like good, better, best. I got the best one, and it's like especially good for like hard water, which is what we have.
Mhm.
And the other thing that I didn't do though, so I replaced both elements. What I didn't do is that there's a third thingy on top that you're supposed to also replace.
Yeah, sacrificial
To-
anode.
I can't. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The anode.
Always got to check the third thingy.
The third thing.
Calm down, Grant. But when I
Get
had
excited.
those, when I got those two elements out, I had also bought a small shop vac and then duct taped a piece of conduit to it and got it in there to vacuum out all like the hard like deposits in there. And it was a lot. Like I had probably like this much sludge in the bottom of my
Mhm. Your tank.
well, my vacuum cleaner after I
Your
after I
shop
got it
vac,
all out.
yeah.
My shop vac, yeah. And so, and like I was like bending the conduit to like get in the corners because you can only get through a hole like that big. Calm down, Grant.
So she
and-
said,
So it just just took some time because buying a new one wasn't an option right now. So, but yeah, it all works. Still working. There is some weird quirks about it, but it works.
so that's what runs the heating elements under your floor.
So I separated my water. So like I have a splitter. So the water goes like supplies the rest of the house. And then I have it split and then have a check valve. So it doesn't backflow to
Mhm.
feed like the faucet. It goes into the hot water heater, heats it up, goes into the floors, comes back like just a little less hot back into the water heater. So you're not constantly having to reheat
The same
well water that's like 55 degrees, trying to bring it up to 120. You're bringing like 100-degree water to 120. So it's like
And so
just a
you-
closed
so
loop.
You're completely on well water, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you ever
Yeah.
get your manual pump?
Nope, still on the list. We're
Okay.
I'm gonna start just putting sticky notes like in the kitchen, like of what like projects cost. Like this is what we want. This is what it costs. Because like our deck boards, I don't when we
It all
like I
adds
didn't
up.
put stain on the deck boards right away. Huge mistake. Like the sun just
usually-
beat the piss out of the wood, and
But
so
usually you want to let them gray out before you stain them.
I mean, I stained them after like 3 months, and like
Hmm.
they splintered really bad. I mean, like if you know what key hulling is, like in like there was a show called there's a show called Black Sails where there was like this form of torture where they would tie a guy like bind his hands and then bind his feet and then send him overboard and drag him under the ship and back up, and all like the barnacles and stuff under the ship would just tear your skin up. So it'd be like flogging, right? So they would do this a couple times to a guy, and it's brutal scene. This would be like that on my deck. It's like we cannot go out on the deck without shoes. My point is, I'm looking at tearing up all the deck boards and just replacing them all.
Why don't you just sand it?
Guess what, Grant? I tried that. Guess what, Grant? It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. I tried. I borrowed a planer, several different kinds. That didn't work either. It still worked. It still happened.
So
Just burn it?
You borrowed a planer. So like you pulled the boards up, ran them through a planer, and put them back down.
Not all of them. I did like two, because my deck is L shaped. So I did like 2/3 of it and planed it, restained it, and it didn't work.
Have you looked at the fake deck boards, like the polycarbonate?
I don't like
stuff?
those. They're too hot on your feet.
Yeah, but they don't splinter.
But then you'd have to wear shoes anyways. So what's the point?
Why would you have to wear shoes? It's Montana. It's
too
cold.
hot.
Are you kidding? Come up here in the summer.
But it'll be
Roast
hot.
your feet. When does it get hot? In the summer, Grant. You know, all points on Earth actually get the same amount of sun. So just because you're south doesn't mean you get more sun.
We just get less cold.
That is true. You get less cold, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Which is why the South is superior.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're not doing this every episode. We're not doing this every episode. No, we're not.
Every episode.
We are not doing this every episode. It's
Heyo.
so old. It's old. We're not doing it.
Is it?
It is.
Is
Is it?
So
who?
what? Tell me something else that you want to learn.
What else am I going to learn? I think I have a joke here, but I don't feel like it'd go over well.
I heard a bunch of mumbling.
Same.
I have a joke, but I don't feel like it would go over well.
Try us.
You're probably right.
I just want to learn, how the South will rise again. Yeah.
Oh, you heard about Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about the national divorce?
No, I don't
Yeah.
care. She's from
Yeah.
Rome.
Yeah.
I've met her. She's a nice lady.
Ah,
All right, we can wrap this up then. That's fine.
We're gonna wrap it up on that note.
All right,
uh,
I didn't really have anything. All right,
Yo,
go ahead.
know what?
Go ahead, Grant. Do your thing.
What? Oh yeah, Homestead of Pain TikTok.
Hey.
What?
I think Matt's tired of us.
Is he? He's tired of it?
We're the conversation fizzled out. Why would we drag this out?
Completely
Let's go.
derailed. Completely derailed.
Follow me at Homestead of Pain on TikTok. I've got like 2,700 of you people following me. 28 now. So that's
I'm gonna unfollow.
Go ahead. I'll need you.
Same. How many did you have like 2 months ago? I'm just kidding.
0.
100 and something. Yeah. Got to keep posting that stuff, man. Keep posting.
I stopped for like a week and then I posted a video. It immediately hit like 37,000 views.
Mm-hmm. They want to reward you for posting when you've been away.
Yeah. It's the Chinese trying to keep me on their stupid platform.
Go ahead, Christopher.
yeah. Working on as best I can an app and a device. First one is to open a chicken coop door and monitor that, give you notifications if and when it fails, and then moving on to all sorts of backyard appliances. If I can ever finish the first one.
No, you're supposed to be finished by like March 1st, right?
Oh, I'm dying. I'm just dying. Today I'm like, I spent all day on this issue.
You get 2 days, man.
I was talking about learning more programming, and that's why, because it's on my mind, because I'm like hitting this wall again. But anyway, I we're gonna make it. It's this close, and we've got an app that are developing for the chicken coop door and working on all sorts of backyard automations. I've got an ebook that I wrote and a coupon down below, Farm Hop Life Rocks, and get on the mailing list to be notified when we're finally ready to launch.
Nice. Awesome. Jeremy.
Jeremy at Dewey Like Donuts on TikTok and Instagram. Homesteading, prepping, chickens.
Conspiracy theories. He's your guy.
Yeah, mine is basically just
You.
talking about me posting
So-
videos of totes.
So, all right. So here's the funny thing, though. Like, all right. So on Instagram, so I posted that video of the White Noise movie on Netflix,
Yeah.
and so like, both TikTok and Instagram will give you like analytics of like who's unfollowed you, who's followed you, all that kind of stuff. Since I posted that video on Instagram about the White Noise movie, like I lost like 500 followers.
Really?
That's
That's
how
weird.
followers you didn't need.
Which I'm like part of me is like I want to pull it now, but then part of me is like I
No.
don't care. Like
Screw it. Yeah.
there's 30,000 of them on Instagram. Like who's so what? Like there's like 200 to 500 that I've lost. But it's just like interesting that
And
Someone
you didn't
gets
even make
all-
any comments. You were just like, did you know?
it was just like did
About
you
this
know that
movie?
this was out there. Like that was it.
like,
That's all there was to it. Literally, all there was to it is hey, did you know that they did this and here and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I liked it.
I've tried to toe that line of not getting too far into conspiracy stuff.
But
And
it's
the
so
political stuff.
easy. We should just do a conspiracy episode and just get it over with.
We should just do a conspiracy
I mean,
podcast.
all right,
and just
hold
do
up.
it.
Hold up.
Been there,
I've-
done
I've-
that. It's okay.
I've got a full blown like conspiracy TikTok out there.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this later. All right.
A completely separate. And I won't tell any of you what it is.
You're
I'm
telling
just-
me. You're telling me. We're talking
I'm
about
not.
this later.
We're not friends
not.
anymore.
And-
I'm Matt Roser for Farm Hop Life. Thanks for watching. Check us out, farmhoplife.com.